Hey crafters, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our backpack favor bag. And you can see here that it is mostly one piece. I'm going to scoot this stuff out of the way for a second. And let's start by just applying the elements to the front flap. Okay, so we do have a little bit of gold foil. You can use whatever gold foil you want. I found this like it's like a semi-matted gold foil where it has a little bit of a texture. It's not quite mirror. I'm not a big fan of the mirror foil, honestly. It's kind of, I don't know, just not my favorite, especially when it comes to photographing it. Sometimes it is a little difficult to photograph. Okay, so we'll get that part in place just like that. And then we're going to grab this little strip. This is probably, I would say, the most little tedious piece to get on here just because it kind of flaps around, but it's okay. Do your best. Go very thin on the glue here, especially if you are also using foil. If you're not using foil, just get a nice contrasting piece of cardstock, and I'm going to line this up on one side first. Check the bottom corner, then the bottom center. And then the rest of it should just sort of naturally fall in place. It does almost have kind of a mind of its own in a way because it is so thin. Hopefully my head's not in the shot. Sorry about that if it is. Okay, we'll get that in place just like that. And we did add some stitching to this. I was going to try to use a marker to kind of draw in the stitching, but I've done that in the past. And what I don't like about it is when the pen goes down, that first little section that it hits always tends to leave a lot more ink. So I'm almost left with like dots and then lines, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I just left the stitching alone, and you know, the light will hit it and it'll make it a little bit more pronounced here and there without being overwhelming. I've gone to the point where I've actually drawn this stuff in manually by hand, which can be very tedious as well. All right, so now this part here, you want to pop this in and just make sure that that little gold strip is nice and even on both sides and on the bottom, and then press that down. Okay, so it should look like that. It's going to make the lid nice and strong as well. Okay, and then we have a little star element that we're going to pop on there. You'll notice that there are two little markers there, and that's where two of the little tips are going to go. So the star is right side up, and then of course take a look at it, make sure visually it looks good and straight, and then we'll finish that off with a little bit of gold as well. That's going to be cut out of the same piece as this gold that we just put down. Make sure you get that as centered as possible as well. Press that down. You could actually emboss that if you wanted to. That could look cool. Okay, now while we're here, another thing we can do, let's flip this over, and you're going to notice, well, we have some markers here on this side. That's going to be for the, well, the little straps. Okay, one other thing that we can do right now too is this is the little handle for the top, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a dowel and I'm going to hold it from one end and place the very base of this little handle between my finger and the dowel, lift it up about 45, 50 degrees, and then just run it through just to kind of give it a little bit of an arc like that. Okay, and what we're going to do is slide these two little tabs, we'll call them, through the slits, and then we're going to glue those to the inside like this. Okay, it's just kind of a little bit easier to do this right now. I'm just going to put a little dot right there, and make sure that you get it right down to that little score mark as far as the placement goes. Throw a little bit right there, and there we go. Okay, so we have our cute little handle, and training it helps so that it doesn't crease when we actually put it into this position. All right, one other thing too that you'll notice is that there's a little circular set of markers, and that's actually for the Velcro. Now, because of its odd shape, we're actually going to put this on now, and we have the markers there to help you make sure that when you do place it, it lines up with the other side. So I'm going to put my first one there, and then your other one is going to be right in here. You can see it right in there. Take it off the backing and place the other half right there. So when we eventually close this up, it will all match up, okay? Now what we can do is we can build the little faux pocket on the back, okay? And to do that, we're going to start off by taking this piece and gluing it on top of this one. This is 12 by 12 cardstock's vermilion. That's the name of the color, the red. Go easy on the glue here. And that's going to go right on top. I did ink this with kind of an orangey red, I guess you could say. Make sure it's lined up and centered all the way down to the bottom. Press that down. You can see I got a little bit of glue that was in there, but that's okay. That might be a good place for some little gold pearls maybe. All right, now we have the blue portion of the little buckles. These are identical, I believe they should be, and they're going to go right here. Add some beautiful contrast, just like that. And then we do have some little gold elements that are going to go on top of that right there. Okay, so I did take and I inked this dark blue as well with an even darker blue. I actually reorganized my ink pads. So I was tired of kind of sifting through them. I went through and got rid of some of my old ones that just weren't working. Okay, there's also a set of little markers here for this pocket. It's like a pocket in a pocket. A lot of pockets here. And that's going to go right there, just like that. Make sure it's straight. I know we have markers, but sometimes when you place things, it could still go on a little goofy. We have a thin little gold strip that's going to go right up at the top of that. Just make sure that you get it flush to the top edge of our little blue pocket. Make sure it's straight. That looks nice. There we go, and then let's put our little buckles on. And these buckles, the little, whatever it's called, should have studied the anatomy of a belt. Little thingy there is going to point down. And you can see how there's kind of a thicker little area on that buckle. That's just going to go like that. We'll do the same thing with the other one. Okay. All right, so that is that. And then of course you can see here on the main structure, there's two little markers here. And I think for the main straps, for the shoulder straps, I might put those, you know, I'm thinking maybe I just put them on now. We'll see. All right, use those little markers there to guide your placement, just like that. There we go, beautiful, super quick. Nice quick little freebie. Now let me see how this is going to work out here. If yeah, you know what, let's do this. Let's go ahead and apply our glue to this strap, this tab here. I'm thinking about straps. Okay, and we're going to close this up, make it a solid piece. And then while it's still flat, you can actually put this down like this and grab the other end, and it should just magically fall into place for the most part, since it's a symmetrical piece. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and fold it over onto this side here. Press down on that seam. There we go. Nice, bright, vibrant little backpack. Okay, check the seam. Looks like I did a decent job. I got one little area there that is kind of coming apart. Perfect. All right, let's put this down flat again. Let's grab our straps, and we're gonna do the same thing with our dowel. You can take and just place the little strap between your finger and the dowel. Go ahead and bring it back about, I don't know, I guess if you look at it this way, it's about 90 degrees. It's just a little bit less maybe. And give it a little bit of a curve, just a tiny bit. That'll work. Okay, then we're going to fold the tabs in. We're going to apply glue here, and then we're going to use the little markers there. You want to make sure that you get this glue out to the very edge, the straight edge here. Okay, and let's just do one section at a time. So that's going to go like that. Line that up nicely, press it down, and then bring this one down here just to make sure that you have it straight. Okay, and we can flare this back, apply glue on the other one. Get that glue out to the edge, and you want to line it up with the little markers, and that will ensure that it's not completely flush against the surface. We want it sticking out a little bit because the straps are never really lying completely flat, if you see what I mean there, like that. Okay, so we'll do the same thing with the other side, and then we just have to glue the bottom together, and this thing is ready to rock. So again, super quick little project. Should be fairly easy to mass produce. I think it requires 4 different colors of cardstock, one of which, in our case, was a piece of gold foil, but you don't have to use gold foil if you don't want. Okay, there we go. Press that down, then pop that back out. And let's glue that into place. And there we go. That looks nice. Okay, so all that's left now, you can actually take this and you're gonna fold it in a little bit, line that up, and then, as I mentioned, this will work a lot easier once we get the bottom glued down, but this will kind of hold it in place. There you go, the Velcro is already doing its job. Okay, so I kind of goofed up here, closing this up. What you wanna do is bring these 2 tabs in. We don't normally make the bottoms of these like this, so I kind of spaced out. So these 2 tabs are going in first, then the back tab, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna apply glue to the tab that is closest to the front of the bag. You'll notice that I accidentally put glue on the top part of this, so don't do that. Then you're gonna close that up. Okay, and then you can put that down on your surface and just open this up real quick and use a dowel to help push the rest of that in place. Just really work the edges and the perimeter on the inside. You can go ahead and close it back up. There we go. Just match that up, and your cute little favor bag backpack is ready to rock. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please visit us on our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, there's a little bell that you can click on that'll give you alerts anytime we release a new project, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our site, especially our last release, the Kitty Cruisers SVG bundle, I would love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. If you head over to Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 47,000 of our closest crafty friends. Hope to see you there, and as always, look forward to crafting with you again.